what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
Brothers and sisters, rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent and Merciful, Soul Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, the alone that we serve and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path of those upon whom thou spell thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is heard to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu alaikum. We have Brother Captain Hakeem and the believers in Richmond, and we have Sisters Hala Brooks of California. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Today we'd like to talk about the black God in person. Because this is the so-called Black History Month, and I was watching Bishop now. They were saying that the Bible is black history. So they was, one of the ways that they like to show the black man that the Bible is black history is first they steal the interpretation of the messenger. We always got to remember that when we talking about the Bible, the Holy Quran, the black man, how we eat, it all comes from the messenger. We can't never forget it. So they was quoting Daniel 7 and 9, where it talks about the Ancient of Days. And it talks about how Daniel had hair like lamb's wool. And all these different descriptions of Daniel. After everybody copy and steal the interpretation of the messenger, now that mean he black. But we always like to start with the history. Because the one thing I like about the history is that the messenger is well documented. Regardless to what these niggas say. He documented. What he taught is documented, and black people's reaction to what he taught is documented. So let's go to the August 9th, 1958, Pittsburgh Carrier. And this was a black Jew who wrote into the Pittsburgh Carrier. This is in the section called What Carrier Readers Think. It's the second article under. It says, some blast at Elijah. It says, your Mr. Muhammad Speaks is very educational to those who understand. Muhammad calls our people the so-called American Negro. Why? These people are not Negroes, and if Muhammad knew who these people were, he would address them accordingly. Muhammad can't grasp the reality that God is a spirit because his earthly mind and earthly doctrine can't perceive what is spiritual. That's what we got to remember. Because when the spook worshipers began to listen to the messenger teach that God is a man, they immediately rejected what he said. We got to remember that when we listening to this lying nigga bishop and IUIC. Because when people steal the teachings of the messenger, they make us think, or want to try to make us think, that this is what the Bible says. But the Bible doesn't say anything direct. And that is the trick of the white man. Because the messenger said the white race had 6,000 years to rule. And they was to rule us under a science called trick knowledge. And that is the science of tricks and lies. So one of the ways the white race tricked the black man is to put God's word in symbolic language. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that they wrote the Bible in a language that a slave would not understand. That's what we got to remember. The Bible don't say nothing. The Bible has to be interpreted. The Bible, one word could have several meanings. This is how the white man wrote the Bible in a language that a slave would not understand. So the slave was robbed of a knowledge of self. He don't speak his mother tongue. He speak the language of the white man. And he don't even speak a proper English of the white man. He speaks a broken English of the white man. So we don't know what we sing as far as proper. Because we say we going to the store. You supposed to say store. We say we be doing. We be going and we be. The devil look at us like these niggas ain't speaking proper English. We don't know no proper English. We just know what sounds right to us. So we see the store, we go to the store. We be having fun because that's what we be doing. That's just how it is. We speak his language, what relates to us, not what's proper. So the white man wrote the Bible in a language that a slave would not understand. So he wrote it in symbolic language, making it to where the only people who knew was the people who understood. So when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who met God, that's another fact. We didn't learn that God is black from the Bible. We learned that God is black because he came in person. That's what we got to remember as Muslims. We can't fall into these nigger Israelites trap with this Bible talk. No. We don't know nothing we know about the Bible, about the black man, about God from the Bible. We know because God came himself. And this is why the messenger would always write his articles, the coming of Allah, the coming of the Son of Man. Because God had to come. In order for us to understand this language that the white man wrote his Bible in that we wouldn't understand. Because he never told us. We didn't know until God came in person. The messenger taught us that God came July 4th, 1930, to Black Bottom, Detroit. He came seeking to save that which is lost. So in 1931, the messenger met God. He spoke to God face to face. So the messenger said he was listening to God talking. He was listening to him teach. So the messenger said the first time he saw him, after the meeting was over, he walked up to God and said, "You the one that the Bible has been talking about, that we've been waiting for the last 2,000 years." This is what the messenger said. When he heard God, not when he heard the Bible. Because the messenger had heard the Bible for years. The messenger's father was a preacher. Just like a lot of black people's father. We heard all that stuff about Daniel 7 and 9. We heard about lamb's wool. We heard about Jesus had feet like brass as if it was burned in the furnace. But we didn't have nobody to teach us what it meant. So the messenger, when he saw God, and he saw God talk for the first time, he knew he the one that I've been reading about all these years. It's you. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad recognized God. That's how he knew that God is a man. He didn't know it because he was reading the Bible. So when the messenger, God's messenger, was telling the black man that God is a man, we felt like that's something earthly. As if we gonna go somewhere else to see God. We gonna go somewhere else in a heaven to see us spook God. Now, why would we believe that? Because of the Bible. Let's go to the spook Bible. Let's go to Colossians 1 and 15. It says, "Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature." So this is talking about Jesus. The white man in his Bible told us that Jesus is the image of the invisible God. Not the man God. The invisible God. So since the Bible was written in a language that a slave would not understand, the white man told us God is invisible. And Jesus is an image of this invisible God. So since Jesus is on the earth, because we believe he came from heaven, now he's on earth. He's a man on earth. But he's just an image on earth of the invisible God. So when the messenger told us that God is a man all the time, in heaven and on earth, we say, "Oh, that's just some earthly teachings he taught." He don't know what he's talking about. He don't know nothing about the spiritual. Because that's what was real to us. The earth wasn't real. The spook and the spirit world was real. Something we ain't never seen. That's where niggas could reign. We can be somebody in an imaginary nothing world. We just a nigga on earth. So you ain't about to tell a nigga that God is black. No. No, he ain't no nigga like me. You don't understand the spiritual. Because the spiritual is where a nigga can be a man. A nigga can be great. A nigga can be friends with the white man. In this spiritual, a nigga enemy of the white man on earth. A nigga ain't nothing on earth. A nigga hate himself on earth. So the messenger telling us God black and he a man, that's earthly talk. Because we ain't nothing on earth. But we something in heaven. We will become something when we become spirits. Not as a man. So we can read even further with the Bible. So Colossians says that God is an invisible God. Let's go to John chapter 1, verse 6 through 19. chapter 6 says, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. So John, according to the white man, he was sent from God. So once again, the spook God sent this man. In heaven, we all spooks. But the spook in heaven sent a man on earth. So that's who John was. He was a representative of the spook God. So verse 18 says, no man have seen God at any time. Once again, the invisible spook God. He wrote the Bible in the language that a slave couldn't understand. Because in the Bible it says that Moses spoke to God face to face as a man speaketh to his friend. But then it said that God told Moses, you can't see my face. You know, you can't see my face and live. So I'm going to let you see my glory. You're going to see my backside. That's how the white man trick us with trick knowledge. It's truth mixed with falsehood. So on one hand, the devil say, Moses spoke to God face to face like a man. That we can understand that. That's earthly. But to trick the nigga, because it's truth mixed with falsehood. Now he say you can't see my face. So which one is it? That keep us confused. We don't know if Moses saw him face to face, or if he saw his backside, if you can see God and live. We don't know none of that. We just wait for how the white man tell us to believe. So in John 1, 6 through 9. 6 say the spook sent John. John say no man have seen God at any time. Only the begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father. He hath declared him. So they saying that Jesus come from the spook like John do. And he's declaring him, meaning he's giving us his message. He giving us his laws. He giving us his rules. He declaring God, but he ain't even never seen. So we just go in with the white man, say, okay, Jesus ain't never seen him. One say he in the image of the invisible God, but he ain't never seen him, but he just telling us about this guy. That's the white man, keeping us confused. Then we go to another verse. This is 1 John chapter 4, verse 12 through 15. It says, no man have seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfect in us. Most spook is. No human being can dwell in you. So it's saying we can't see this invisible God. But if we love one another, this spook dwells in us. Because we want to get understanding of these copycat niggas. We want you to know we don't know God is black because we read the Bible. We know God black is because God came. That's how we know that God is black. Now you might say, how y'all say God black when he look like he white? That's a good question. All of us thought it. I used to think. I used to listen to the messenger talk so hard on black. Then you see him start talking about Master Farah. You start like, man, we would really be there if Master Farah Muhammad didn't look so white. We got all this hardcore black teaching. Then now we got to show them this picture of Master Farah Muhammad looking like a white man. That be before you really understand. You be looking like God. Because the niggas now, they ain't like how they was in the 30s. Niggas wasn't so black in the 30s. Niggas loved the devil. So when the messenger showed the black man this white-looking picture, they ain't have a problem with it. Niggas did not have a problem with it till the niggas start getting black. Now the niggas talking about, he look like, nigga, you been worshiping white Jesus your whole life. Your grandmama, your grandfather, nigga, you used to say, I'm mixed, I'm Creole. You know what I'm saying? I'm half and half. You was happy to have somebody in your family that could pass. But now a nigga's so black, he looked like a white man. So that affect the new believer. We come in when niggas is black. We don't remember the 30s niggas. We remember these I'm black and I'm proud niggas. Them the niggas who we come around. So we hear the messenger talking all this hardcore black. Then he started talking about Master Farah Muhammad. But that be before we understand. It is what it is. We all have to grow into the knowledge. So when you begin to understand about Master Farah Muhammad, it not only kills the spook, but it removes the shame. You can go to these black power, black love niggas and say, show me your God, nigga. Show him to me. Show me this dark-skinned, woolly-haired nigga God you talking about, nigga. Show us when he came. Show us when he made you dirty beard niggas not afraid of the white man. Show us that. Because technically, you used to be ashamed. Now this the best part of the teachings now. Because what we got over these so black niggas is our God really came. These niggas waiting on this dark-skinned, woolly-haired nigga God they talking about. They still waiting on this tough nigga. He the tough nigga. They be making this afro this big, the big, tough, dark-skinned nigga. That's how they make big muscle bound, big. Jesus look like he been lifting weights in prison. That's how them niggas make they God. But we got the little old, petite, light-skinned God. But it's the hardest thing we got. Yes. Because he came. Yes. He came seeking to save that which is lost. It's real history of his coming. Yes. It's real history that the black man was changed by what he taught. Yes. It's real history that his messenger was the winner over his enemies. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad's enemies became his footstool. You can't say that about this big prison Jesus with the big afro. We still ain't seen him. But we seen Master Farah Muhammad. Yes, sir. Not only did we see him, the messenger taught us he was born to save the black man. Yes. That's another good one. So once you start, because the thing about the message, once you believe in it, it's something about how he say what he say. He don't say it like he care whether you believe it or not. He just say it. And that be something that's strange, because when you go to church, the preacher say it like he just needs you to believe. Before he come up, you listen to the deacons, because this is how they warm you up. Messenger ain't got nothing to warm you up. You just come and hear him talking. He's speaking with broken English. He sound like your grandma. You can tell he only went to the 3rd grade. He be short like this, coming up there talking to you. You like, what this little guy? But he be so confident. He be so sure. And he seem like he don't care who believes. That's right. I'm just telling you what he told me. So when you become a new believer, at first. Master Farad Muhammad part be that part you just want to tuck to the side. Until you listen to how the messenger be so confident in him. He always put him out front. He talked about him like he really was God. The preacher don't talk about Jesus like he really God. He talking like when he say something, he looking at everybody like, did they go for it? Them Israelite niggas. They don't talk about Jesus like they really believe he coming back. They just sound like niggas who jealous of the Nation of Islam. That's how them niggas sound. But the messenger sound like, I know God. I wasn't told about it. I met him. Though none of y'all know, you used to have brothers with the messenger, like Mount Farrakhan. They could talk the teaching so well. But when they came around the messenger, they was like little kittens. Same brother you felt like was so knowledgeable. When they get around the messenger, they, dear holy apostle. They talking to the messenger like he just got so much more wisdom than they could dream of having. They look like when you go to the gas station to get a fill up, they come to the messenger to get a refill. Yes. And the messenger tell them like, if you listen to what I say, you will be successful. If you don't, you won't. The messenger talked to them like, I don't need you. So when I listen to the messenger so much, it's like it's something to this Master Farad Muhammad. It gotta be. Because he give him too much credit. He talk about him all the time. And this the first time I ever heard somebody sound like they really met God. They really feared God. They really had a love for God. Yes. And they was really telling us what God told them. So the messenger told us that Master Farad Muhammad was born to save the black man. When we look at Daniel 7 and 9, the first thing is Daniel had a vision. Daniel didn't see God. That's the first thing. The messenger saw God. Daniel didn't. Daniel had a vision. Let's go to Daniel. First, we want to see what did Daniel 7 and 9 mean before these niggas start copying the message. Simple Google search. What does Daniel 7 and 9 mean in the Bible? It said Daniel 7 and 9 describes a vision of God as the Ancient of Days, seated on a fiery throne, symbolizing his eternal supreme authority and impeding divine judgment. That's number one. When we was listening to the white man, the throne didn't mean like how these niggas say now. If he got a throne, that mean he had a body because he was sitting on the throne. No, nigga. That ain't what it meant. Let's read what it meant when we was believing in the white man. The white man told us, the Ancient of Days seated on a fiery throne, symbolizing his eternal supreme authority and impeding divine judgment. The imagery of white hair and clothing signifies absolute purity, wisdom, and holiness, providing reassurance that God remains sovereign over earthly kingdoms. So when you hear these niggas now, because niggas say it so much, it's like a nigga when he lie so good. It just flow off his tongue. Where you don't even think about is this nigga lying to me or not, because he say it so good. You can know the nigga a lie. That's when you know he lying. Like I know. He be lying all the time. But he say it so, you just think like, oh, I don't know. Could be telling the truth this time. That's how niggas is when they take the teachings of the message. Niggas learn to say it real good, like it just flow from the nigga's tongue, like, where you like, wait a minute. The messenger taught that. Right. But they said so he had hair like lamb's wool. And they connect the lamb's wool to the texture of the hair to where you like, wow. But that ain't how they interpret it before they start stealing from the messenger. Right. The lamb's wool meant purity. Because it talks about lamb's wool all the time throughout the Bible. It ain't just when it's talking about hair. Every time the white man wants to talk about purity, he talks about lamb's wool. Isn't any kind of shit. He could just say he's as pure as lamb's wool. Not talking about his hair. Not talking about nothing about, but they saying he's as pure as lamb's wool. This is like lamb's wool. When they used to talk about a fiery furnace, they wasn't talking about Jesus put his feet in the furnace and it burnt and got black. That's how niggas say it after the message. Right. But they used to talk about a refiner's fire. How you put precious metal in a fire to refine the precious metal. Right. Not because you trying to make it black. Right. But the lie niggas say it so smooth that you think that's just what it means. It don't mean that. Because the white man wrote the Bible in a language that a slave would not understand. So everything he wrote could have multiple meanings. Right. So when the white man wrote his Bible, his meaning was that the wool meant purity. It said the imagery of white hair and clothing signifies absolute purity, wisdom, and holiness, providing reassurance that God remains sovereign over earthly kingdoms. Now let's go to the actual verse. This is very important too. Because when the niggas who stealing what the messenger taught skip past the first few verses and go straight to 9. But you got to read all those previous verses to understand how we saw 7 and 9. Now let's start from verse number 2. It says, Daniel spoke and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. So now, Daniel about to start talking about a whole bunch of spookism. That's why you got to put them verses with the 7 and 9 to understand how all of it was together before the message. All of it sounded real unrealistic before the message. Because first we believed God was invisible. So all of that hair like lamb's wool stuff had to have some kind of other meaning. It couldn't have meant his hair textured like our hair. It couldn't have meant he's sitting on the throne because he's an invisible God. Right. Nobody has ever seen him, even Daniel. This is a vision. Let's see what a vision means. That's what we want to do. What does it mean when you say a vision? It says having a vision versus seeing something. Having a vision is a mental, strategic, and often creative process of perceiving future possibilities or deeper meaning, while seeing something is physical, present tense, and literal act of sensory perception. Vision requires interpretation and insight, whereas seeing is simply observing the immediate physical world. That's what we got to understand with a vision. First, we got to understand we were spook worship before niggas got black. These black Afro Jesus believing niggas was spook worship. They still spook worship. They just use that black stuff to gain the black man's attention. The niggas still spook worship.
Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
So we believed in a spook. Plus, this was a vision of Daniel. Right. Daniel didn't say, I saw God. No, he said, I had a vision. In this vision, he see a whole bunch of stuff we know don't exist in reality. He said he saw some beasts coming out to sea. How you see some beasts coming out to sea? But that's what he said in his vision. So we know he didn't see literal beasts coming out to sea. We got to interpret it now because it's a vision. He not telling us he physically saw beasts come. He telling us he had a vision of beasts coming out of the sea. Then it goes on to say, he says the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. See, we got to put that with the 7 and 9 for these niggas. Because the nigga just don't go to 7 and 9. But you got to put the previous verses in with 7 and 9. Not only do you have to put them in, you got to let it be known he was having a vision. Yes. He did not physically see none of this. So if he didn't physically see it, we got to interpret what was it that he saw. Because he said he saw a lion with eagle's wings. So we know in the vision, he didn't physically see that. He had a vision of a lion with eagle's wings, so we got to interpret what he means. Right. That's what we got to understand. So he said the first was a lion, was like a lion. That's another, like a lion. So that what that mean? Because he ain't saying he said he saw a beast like a lion with 4 wings. This is, we wasn't even trying to, well, I ain't even going to waste my time trying to figure, let the white man tell us what that means. Yes. We having a hard enough time saying we be going to the store. We ain't about to waste no time like a lion with eagle's wings. And it's just the one verse. He said the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. So, you say you see a beast come out to sea that look like a lion with wings, that was standing up on his feet like he a man. He had a heart of a man. So if you looking at this vision, and you know that ain't got nothing to do with reality, you looking at 7 and 9 the same way. Because you believe God is invisible. So just like you got to interpret what this means, you got to interpret what that means. That's right. Now let's go on any further than that. Now that was crazy. Now let's go to the next verse. It says, and behold another beast. So you didn't understand the first. Now he say he saw another. So what niggas in church believing in the pie in the sky who hate theyself? They try, no, we gonna wait for the white man. We ain't been to school. How we know what that means? Some black people back in the day used to sign their name and put an X. They ain't know how to write. They ain't know how to read. The messenger only went to the 3rd. What you think he interpreting when he hear that? He don't know what that means. So now we going to the next verse that's just as spooky as the previous verse. It says, and behold another beast, a second, like a bear. And it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in his mouth, of it between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. So now he saw the lion, something like a lion. Now he sees something like a bear with ribs in his mouth. What that mean? We don't know. Then it goes on even further. It says, after this, I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. So now this leopard got 4 wings. Most spookism, we didn't understand the other two beasts he was talking about. So now he give us another beast that sound even more crazier than the other ones. This was before we were black. Now we was niggas. Didn't know nothing. Niggas know everything now. We don't need the messenger now. Now niggas, the Bible is black history now. How much black history was it when we was reading this from that? Right. Let's go on any further than that. He said, after this, I beheld and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings as of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads. And dominion was given to it. So this one got 4 wings and 4 heads. That's why you got to read all the verses. You can't just go straight to 7 and 9 and then, oh, that mean the black man. No. Read it all together. Right. Put it in context. It was a vision. So he didn't really see God. He didn't really see a beast like a leopard, like a lion, like a bear, with all these wings, all these heads. He didn't really see that, just like he didn't really see the one sitting on the throne. Now let's go even further than that. Now he say, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and broke in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. So the other ones had wings. Now this beast got 10 horns. What beast we know on earth got 10 horns? But this is what he say he saw in his vision. Let's go on any further than that. He said, consider the horns, and behold, these came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in the horns were eyes like eyes of a man. They're the Israelite niggas. That's why I hate we under this chief hypocrite Louis UJ. I'm telling you. I listen to these niggas every day. I do. I listen to them and I make videos about these niggas. I want them to know. Because the messenger taught us. He said it's a humiliating chastisement for the disbeliever. Not only that, he said a believer does not befriend a disbeliever who makes a mockery of his religion. We don't befriend them. That's why niggas like Bishop used to get their heads whooped with the messenger. Because the messenger say, we don't befriend those who make a mockery and a sport of your religion. They can be your nearest of kin. That's why when Malcolm turned hypocrite, who the messenger get? His brothers. Tell everybody. I love the messenger. That history is my favorite history to study. Because the messenger say, okay, we about to see. If you with me, tell everybody you with. Dog this nigga. Don't just be, oh, we with. No, go tell everybody. What you think about this hypocrite? He was your brother. Go tell him. Matter of fact, they say they wrote the speech that his brother said on, not only am I gonna have, nigga, I'm gonna say what you supposed to feel like, nigga. That's what, I'm gonna give it to you to read. Tell everybody. This what a believer feel about this hypocrite. Right. Tell him. Messenger called his son, Akbar. You tell him what you feel about this hypocrite. That's how the message, it could be your nearest of kin, his nearest of kin. So he wasn't just on Malcolm them brother, his own son. Yes. They hypocrites too. So when Akbar didn't denounce Malcolm in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, Say, Akbar, a hypocrite. Don't no believer associate with Akbar. That was the message. So how much more you think he was looking at Malcolm then, bro? Nigga, you better say it. I done said it. Got another son out there. He come back. Because Wallace was telling that history. I love the history. He say he saw some brothers one night. He was going to his house. He say he was parked across the street from his house. It's something like he was crossing the street. So he say it was a car with 4 brothers in it with the headlights off. So when they seen this hypocrite get in the street, they kind of eased in the street with the headlights off on this nigga to show you how Muslims used to be with the message. So he said when he looked to see if he could recognize them, they hit the bright lights and hit the gas on him. He said they barely missed it. He had to dive in the... Them was followers of the message. Brothers asked him, man, you want us to kill Wallace? Let us know what you want to do. You want us to get Malcolm? Man, no, don't you kill my son. But he could have said, could have turned his head. Messenger told us about Wallace. Say Wallace was a hypocrite.
That's right.
That's what he said about Wallace. The messenger, when Wallace came back, because I believe, I don't know for sure, I believe the messenger knew what Wallace was going to do all along. That's what I think. I don't think he said don't do it to Wallace because he was just so in love with Wallace. I don't think so. I think he told them that because he knew what Wallace was going to do. Wallace was going to help his father because he made it clear about Wallace. He said, I taught Wallace when he was a kid. I taught him. I was good to him. Never had to do a hard day's work. He said, when I first heard him out there, mud, I got off my post. I just was so surprised I was all but speechless. But he said he got back on his post. He said, I don't care if Wallace boil in hell, broil in hell, or burn in hell. Care nothing about him. That's what he said about his son. To all the fruit.
That's right.
Care nothing about him. So when Wallace came back, the messenger told the believers. When Wallace apologized, he said, I can't accept him back. Letting it be known, I don't have that daddy feeling for him. It ain't there. I'm the messenger. I'm the messenger to him, and I'm the messenger to all y'all. All that daddy stuff was at first when I couldn't believe it. I was off, but then I got back on my post. Yes. I'm the messenger. Yes. He a hypocrite. Care nothing about him. Messenger say we hate hypocrites. But he got a job to do. So a hint to the wise is sufficient.
Yes.
So he had that hypocrite beg him to come back. Go tell everybody what you done did. Oh, I'm sorry. So after the messenger had him crawling back, then he told him, I can't accept him. That probably made Wallace's hate grow even more for the messenger. He feel like the daddy stuff. Oh, my son. No. Messenger stood back. Tell it. He up there telling them, acting like old daddy. The messenger. I can't accept this hypocrite back. Y'all gonna have to accept. That's a hint to the wise. All the believers saw the messenger didn't accept him, so I ain't accepting him either. So 10 years later, when this hypocrite took off, the messenger didn't accept him. I ain't accepting this hypocrite.
Right.
Accepting him. But some Muslims did. Most of them did.
Yes.
And most of them went with Wallace.
That's right.
But the one thing I can say about Wallace, I like Wallace.
Yeah.
I do. I saw a thing of Wallace. Wallace was smart. I give him that. Because I would listen to Wallace. Wallace wasn't a dumb hypocrite. He was a smart hypocrite. He was. He was better than Farrakhan. Farrakhan, he the worst hypocrite. Wallace was a smart hypocrite. I give him that. One day, Wallace was up talking. Because he knew he was a hypocrite. And he knew all them who followed him is hypocrites too. So what Wallace did? He said, yeah, I got Elijah Muhammad's whole staff. He said, you would think that when I came up, they would leave. But he said, then he said, I got Elijah Muhammad's whole staff. Like I'm a hypocrite, I know you, I don't trust you niggas. Trust none of you niggas. You a hypocrite just like me. I want you to know, I want everybody to know, these niggas was big faith, some of the most faithful followers of the message. They with me. He say Farrakhan, he was with us for a long time. Putting them hypocrites on blast. You a hypocrite.
Right.
That's one thing I did learn from my father, what a hypocrite was. You niggas hypocrites. I don't trust none of you niggas. You niggas was the most faithful niggas to him. Now you and me. You see what I'm saying about him, you don't say nothing. You're just a hypocrite. So after Wallace tore the whole thing down, he told all them hypocrites, I don't even want to be the leader no more. You just go for yourself.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Oh, you dumb niggas. Oh, you hypocrites. Go for yourself. That's when that hypocrite Louis Eugene started talking about he want to rebuild.
Right.
He ain't had nothing else. But Wallace, he was one of the top tier hypocrites. Farrakhan ain't. He just a hypocrite without a home. That's what he is. He wanted to be with Wallace. Wallace used to do stuff Wallace took Farrakhan from New York and put him in Chicago. Then I believe he had to share that temple with another minister. That's how Wallace used to do a nigga. Oh, nigga, you ain't about to be. No, I'm going to put Joseph over in New York. Nigga, you come to Chicago. I can watch you.
Yeah.
I don't trust you more than none of them. You nigga, you was the national representative. Come on, brother. No, sell your car. Sell your house. Look like a bum. I used to see you nigga with your pretty suit. No, nigga, look like a bum with me. That's what I want you niggas to look like. Don't get the fitted tailor suit, nigga. Get the suits that don't fit right. Look like a bum like I look. Grow your beard, nigga.
Yes.
Be a man. Then after he had them totally disgraced the message, he said, well, you know what, nigga? I don't even want to be the leader no more. You niggas go for yourself.
Yes, he did.
That was wild. He was a smart hypocrite. He knew his job. He did it well. All the rest of them is lost hypocrites. Farrakhan don't know what to do. He be like, can I be with y'all, Scientology? I'll take all my followers, come follow Scientology. He say, all right, nigga. He go to the Orthodox, can we be with y'all doing Juma? I just need a home. I ain't got nowhere to go. He got to eat. He ain't never had a job. So he said, I got a lot of niggas following. How much money you would give me if I bring these dumb niggas? He know what Wallace did to him. He look at his followers the same way Wallace look at his. He don't trust them. That's why he called them niggas student ministers.
That's right.
Nigga, you ain't getting no shine with me. It's all about me. Nigga, you can have the responsibility of a minister. Nigga, you a student minister. You a student captain. Matter of fact, let the sister talk. She the minister. That's the boss. That's hypocrites. Messenger told us about a hypocrite. Say, you never trust a hypocrite.
That's right.
He said, hypocrites build mosques as a shelter for the enemies of Islam. That's what they do. Farrakhan do it all the time. These niggas be dogging. It's like I done knew fake niggas more real than Farrakhan's people. Fake fake niggas. Niggas you know fake. But they try to act real when you infringe and interfere with their little thing. Like, you know this nigga don't love this woman at all. But when he see her about to leave, you're like, oh, baby, please. Don't leave me, baby. I love you. Then when he see her, get out of here. But he a fake nigga. But he know how to be real when it start. These niggas with Farrakhan so fake. They don't even care that these niggas dogging the religion you say you believe in. That's a hypocrite. Yeah. When Malcolm flipped the script on the message, and we gonna get back. When Malcolm flipped the script on the message, the messenger said Malcolm builds a mosque in opposition. He said he filling it up with hypocrites and disbelievers like himself. That's what Chief Hypocrite Louis Eugene knew. Yeah. He filling it up with hypocrites like himself. He hate the messenger, they hate the messenger. He a great pretender, they a great pretender. Yes. He befriend the enemies of Islam, they befriend the enemies of Islam. He be looking like Willie Earl, they look like Willie Earl. He be at Patti LaBelle concert, they be at Patti. He play the violin, they like to rap. Just like this hypocrite. But the messenger taught us the characteristics of hypocrites. But he said, I believe. He said Allah promised him that he would raise up better and more fearless believers. Who will love Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad and what he taught. And he said they'll spread it no matter whom or what. Yeah. That's what the messenger said in the Muhammad speech. I'm going to put it on the video. Yeah. That's what the message Master Farad Muhammad promised him. He said, yeah, it's going to be some hypocrites. One rising up through the ranks. He got here master the English language. He gonna make Malcolm's work look like child's play. But it's still gonna be some believers though, who gonna love Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, love what he taught, and gonna teach it no matter whom or what. It's always gonna be them kind. It's always gonna be the kind that hate niggas like Bishop Nathan. It's always gonna be them. It's always gonna be them who gonna fight with those who fight with them. It's always gonna be them. It's always gonna be them who gonna strive hard against the hypocrite and the disbelief. Yes, always. No matter how few. The messenger used to say back in the day, he said, you kill one, then another little Elijah pop up over there. That's what he said. Yes, he did. It don't make a difference what you do. But let's get back. We done drifted way off today. But let's get back to this verse number 8. It says, consider the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great, great things. So in the horn, it had eyes and a mouth. Eyes like men and a mouth like me, and some horns. Then after all that, now you get to Daniel 79. Then he say, behold, till the throne was cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garments was white as snow, and hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. How you think that mean to black man? You got to bring it out on these niggas. Now let's go even further with the message. Because we want to talk about how the messenger for the first time brought out the fact that God is a man. We're going to have to wrap it up. But we read how the Jew was saying that the messenger, he don't know what he's talking about. What he's talking about is earthly, and he don't understand the spiritual. Now let's get to a lost found who heard what the messenger say and his truth took root in him. Let's go to the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. This is the March 7th, 1969. It says Muhammad's speech of February 23rd, 1969. Then you see a black circle with a little bitty dot in the middle of the circle. So it says the creation of man. This is how the messenger taught us that God is a black man. Because the messenger had been teaching us that God is a man from the beginning. But he told us that Master Farad Muhammad told him to give the babies milk. So when you look at the messenger's teachings, you can see how he was slowly building us up. He didn't just tell us it all at once. He was slowly, even with the Hadith Talib. If you look at them articles, he was slowly building it up. Then in 67, he come with the book. But before the book, it was just one article a week with the Hadith Talib. Then with God being a black man, little by little, coming of Allah, Master Farad Muhammad. Then in 1969, he come out with a big bomb. He talked about the creation of man, teaching us why God is a black man. So this was written by the editor. His name was Richard Durham. He was the editor of the Muhammad Speaks. Wasn't a Muslim. This is what he said about the messenger's speech. He said the messenger Elijah Muhammad gave to us this past Sunday, February 23rd, 1969, one of the greatest teachings that he has ever given to us in the past. The God of the black man was the subject. Never before had we witnessed such teachings coming from a black man whose fathers were slaves. Now the Jew was criticizing the messenger in 1958. This was 11 years later. So the messenger was teaching us about God all the time. But he said, the God of the black man was the subject. Never before had we witnessed such teaching. Because the messenger was building on top of, just building them up. So by 1969, the messenger said, I'm about to drop something on. Something they ain't never heard before. I've been talking about God is a man. He ain't no spirit. Who is that mystery God? But now I'm about to teach him why God black. Drop another bomb on. So he says, surely, Messenger Muhammad has received this wisdom from the mouth of God. There's a lost fact. Because that's how the messenger talked. You knew he didn't get it from a nigga Jew. You heard what he said. You know he didn't get it from the Christian preacher. You know he didn't get it from the white man. So who else he get it from? From the mouth of God. He says, surely, Messenger Muhammad has received this wisdom from the mouth of God. We can say nothing to dispute with him, let alone trying to condemn him. That was for this hypocrite. Niggas knew. We ain't got nothing to say to him after he say what he say. But with this hypocrite Lewis, he be putting so much salt in the game. He be half saying stuff. He be adding stuff to stuff. He be talking about his own opinion, what he think. So he put so much salt in the game, now these niggas think they can contend with the messenger of God. But when the lost fight, we can't say nothing after he say it. He getting it from the mouth of God. We ain't never heard nothing about what he talking about. So what can we say to condemn him? We don't know what he talking about, but we know it come from God. Right. He said we can say nothing to dispute with him, let alone trying to condemn him. For in the first place, we never heard this truth before. When we hear truth, it bears witness of itself. That's the message. Yes. That's why he used to talk like he talked. Truth bear witness. Messenger used to teach about the moon. He was teaching about the moon in 1962. I forget the name of the lecture. But the messenger started talking about the moon. He started talking about how the white man want to go to the moon. Because the white man didn't go to the moon, he say, until 1969. So the messenger was telling the white man, saying he a fool for wanting to go to the moon. Because the moon don't have no atmosphere, no oxygen. So if the white man go, he gonna have to bring some atmosphere with him or some oxygen or something and put himself in a tank. Because if you go on the moon, we don't got no oxygen, your eyes will pop out your head.
Right.
Just the messenger.
That's right.
Third grade education. Didn't know nothing until God came and he telling them what they got to do. So the white man went with his special suits, brought his oxygen. Then he see this Muhammad telling the truth. It really was blasted away.
Yes.
Smell like gunpowder. This Muhammad know what he talking about. So in 1969, Messenger say the white man, he know what I've been teaching y'all about the moon was right. He went to the moon. And now he can see what I got from Allah is the truth. That was the message. How can we contend with a man like that? When you listen to him talk, he talk like the truth bears witness to itself.
Yes.
Regardless of what you believe. The moon was blasted away. It's going to bear witness to itself when you go.
Right.
When you go, the truth that I'm talking bears witness to itself when you get there.
Yes.
Everything I'm saying going to bear witness to itself. So let's go on with the message. It says, Mr. Muhammad, the messenger of Allah to us, the lost found mentally dead here in North America, brought out for the first time since we have been taught of a God of some sort, why God is a black God. Messenger Muhammad taught Sunday that the reason God is black is because he was created in total triple darkness of the universe, where there had never been any light until the atom of life began. By the darkness to create itself in the heart of that darkness. For before the universe of light, darkness covered everything and there was no light. The Bible says, Genesis, that there was darkness and the heavens and the earth were created out of that darkness. The Holy Quran verifies these facts. That's the message. Now we got to look. What does it mean when you say verify? Because we always got to define what's being said. Because we under a hypocrite. He don't teach like the messenger teach. He teach like we believe what the Bible says. So all of the Israelites say the Quran is a recitation of the Bible. The Quran verifies the truth of the Bible. No Muslim just believes in the Bible. All Muslims know the Jews and the Christians tampered with it. They altered it. They add lies to it. We all know that. But the Holy Quran verifies the truth of the Bible because it's truth mixed with falsehood.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean when you say verify? It says make sure or demonstrate that something is true, accurate, or justified. We got to remember that. We don't just believe what the Bible says. Somebody got to verify. Either it's the messenger or the Holy Quran. We don't just read verses and the nigga just tell us Moses was talking to the no. That ain't a fact. Moses never went to Egypt.
Right.
Moses went into the caves and hillsides of Europe. Where you get it from? Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
And the truth will verify itself. Let's keep on going. He said, Mr. Muhammad, messenger of Allah on Sunday, gave us a knowledge of ourselves as the children of God who was black and who was created out of the blackness, darkness. He is our Father. That was a lost find. That's how we knew God was black. We didn't learn it from the Bible. Because the Bible is written in symbolic language. It don't say nothing direct. It always said in a way to make the black man confused. So the messenger, who is the messenger of Allah, he told us about Allah because God came himself. He told us that Allah was born to save the black man. In Daniel 7 and 9, that Allah wasn't born to save the black man. The messages say that Allah represents the black nation. It represents the black nation ruling in the future.
Yes, sir.
But the black nation is not going to rule independent. The black nation is going to rule through Master Farad Muhammad, the divine supreme being, the God who was born to save the black man. Now, there's much more we can say, but we're running out of time. So I'll leave you as I came in the nation of Islam, greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful, sole master's day of judgment in which we now live, the alone that we serve and the alone beseech for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none deserve to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum